Welcome to Soulfire Tarot, March 2025 Collective Tarot Card Reading. And for this month, I've invested in some new decks. We have the Wild Mystic Oracle cards. Excited to tap into these. I've also got the Psychic Tarot Oracle cards. Traditional tarot cards with a different formulation. I'll be reading those upright position, and the Initiatory Golden Dawn tarot deck, the favorite of the few I have. I'll also be utilizing an obsidian sphere to accentuate articulations within the psychic and spiritual domain of the readings. I found it to be quite a potent transformer to enhance and augment the sphere of consciousness. And lastly, I may do a blind spot oracle card at the end to help shed some light to some possible shadows. And so for this month, to begin, I'll do a general spread to kind of see the energies and themes of the month. And then I think I'm going to do a split with three, a 1, a 2, and a 3. And whatever you feel resonates with you before deciding which one to watch for more individuation. All right. One more dig in. First card drawn is the Eight of Cups. Doing a little bit differently than I normally do. Pre-shuffling and drawing off the top with trust, as well as periodically intuitively reading into the energy that is calling forward. So we have here, to begin with, the Eight of Cups. It's an imagery of a older gentleman walking away from this pond, this fountain with cups and lotuses in the stone terrace. We see him kind of looking back what is in the past. This may be a sign of walking away, moving on to something new, leaving old things behind in search of something else. It also, being the elderly man, may represent something to do with us gaining wisdom and perspective in hindsight on our journey. Perhaps some of us are entering into a new phase where we are beginning to take the steps into a new direction for our lives. And or perhaps there's a looming decision that might be correct for us as our higher self calls into being. The second card drawn is the Eight of Wands, a card that I'm feeling a rushed energy, things in motion and moving in pursuit of a directive new goal. And there are circumstances of adversary, but it is important to have support. This may bring into question the question of where are we going? What do we have our sights set on? We see how these two, the first two, seem to be related as they are related to a change, a new direction, and a new directive goal and pursuit, perhaps. So I wonder, for those of us, what may be going on collectively as things shift to a new direction, a new orientation. We have next the Two of Wands. This card depicting a woman who is holding two wands together. This, I'm feeling, communicates to me something about how there is a kind of There's a sense of power and confidence and a kind of defensiveness. Perhaps we may need to take a position in our strengths and our passions to be able to assert and defend our positions where we may need to be drawing on our strength and our passion and our feelings and our emotions as we climb whatever these mountains may be, closer perhaps to a summit, and then defending our position or igniting an energy where we can conduct. We see next the Princess of Pentacles, another card resonant with the Two of Wands, with this imagery, this spirit combined. We see with the Princess of Pentacles somebody who is confident, secure. So I'm starting to feel that this might have something to do with things are kind of consolidating, like there's a kind of order where people are settling more so into a position where they can be more in touch with their own power. And as things kind of restructure, she is on this hill above the apple orchard in the back, kind of overlooking these things that are growing. And to continue with that, we have the Six of Cups reversed. In its upright form, this card seems to depict two lovers with a sunset, but this is in reverse. So perhaps there might be some troubles coming up collectively with regards to transitions, once again kind of set to this theme at large. Transitions in relationships. Perhaps it's signifying the setting of a sun of some past time, some past order. Again, seeing this first card in the theme of walking away, of gaining perspective, of moving on in general. I'm going to draw and read into these oracle cards. All the way to the bottom, we have wisdom, the owl, perceptive, ability to see through darkness, highly sensitive in sound. This card may be signifying and calling that tuning in and being sensitive to our intuition that may serve to yield wisdom, to prosper wisely, to be in touch with our own inner senses, our common sense, as we orient within the forest of the world, to have the foresight, to have clarity of vision, to be able to hear where things are in relation to our environment, and an agileness of knowing when to act, when to wait, when to simply watch and observe. Now I'd like to go to the Psychic Tarot cards for March 2025. Let's see what kind of themes are coming up through this. The crown chakra, once again pertaining to higher wisdom, and also transcendence, enlightenment. The seventh of the traditional seven, set up here with the crown of the skull. The crown chakra, a high vibration, transmission of truth, reality. Interesting. I feel very high spirit touching with that card. Yeah, once again, this has to do with the labor towards dreams in connection with the crown chakra. I drew the Prince of Pentacles, carrying through steadily, sturdily, on their destination, on their path and the journey, pursuing their dreams, having a sense of where they are and where they're going. This is somebody who is in their bliss, somebody who is comfortable and enjoying the journey, being present, but having been prepared and steadily and surely, wisely making way in pursuit of the dream and the new coming dawn. Yeah, there's new passions igniting. And I feel like there's old things that are kind of passing away. Old partnerships, old agreements and alliances, things of that are kind of coming to an end. They're not working anymore. And there's passionate new leadership. There's new opportunities, new abilities for people to tap into the collective zeitgeist, the things that passionately engage us in life on a collective level. Yeah, we see the lion here, in the fiery chariot. This is the Prince of Wands, illuminating, radiating light and blazing a trail and a path with glory here. Interesting. A lot of fire in this reading thus far. A lot of fire. I read a little bit more through the Psychic Tarot cards. Movement, choices, decisions. Wow, that really kind of capitalized on, again, the start and initial progress of this theme of the month. Yeah, wow. Yep, fire, red, changes, new opportunities, new doorways, the ability to choose, being in tune with our wisdom, our senses, our ability to deeply, deeply know in an embodied way what's right for us, what's coming, what's happening, what is, what isn't, distortions of the mind, things we may believe may not necessarily be so. Sometimes we have to clarify things, tune into a higher power that can override and transform and help us transcend in our energies, our consciousness, as we release and reconnect with a higher power that can bring us guidance, wisdom, and direction in our life. Whatever that may be for you, it just is. We put whatever name we want to the ineffable, infinities, source of creation. It's within everything. It is everything. Wow. So with all this information here on the spread, this is when I'd like to tune into the obsidian here and see if I can do a extra clear reading to thoroughly highlight and summarize and further illuminate. This is a reckoning of transgressions. There are trials and tribulations. These movements are not necessarily literal in a sense, but again, if we have this metaphor of the maze or an interlocking, think of Rubik's Cube or a labyrinth, except in 3 dimensions. The pattern is changing. In a fundamental sense, there is a deep restructuring going on in the world. It's not just this month, but the whole year and beyond. There will be some severe judgments, and there might be perturbances at a collective happening timescale level. But these things are more or less a purification and a release to know what is more truly in alignment for our collective transcendence. Sometimes we have to feel the feel the fire, feel the heat, to know not to be burned. Transgressions may be released in the purification of fire. Some may fear collapse, but there's a higher power, and there's trust in the vision that magnifies the serenity. Stipulations of want and necessity make for concessions, and through that there may be new peace. I'm sensing too, towards the end of the month of March 2025, there's a sense of like great relief, because it's as if there's like this tension that will be building up, and things will kind of come to a head, perhaps of some kind of conflict. But that metaphor of the flame, of like getting closer to the fire to know like, oh, that is hot, like let's not get burned, right? We don't need that destruction, to get a sense of where we're at, and will help settle and consolidate just kind of the order of things and what priorities really are. That's awesome. Wow. Well, I feel like that was enough. I'll let the blind spot cards go. Amazing. Please like and subscribe. I'll be doing collective zodiac readings here, and they should be released by the beginning of the month. Thanks for watching. Peace. A ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.